I'm going to mention that at every party. If I'm meeting people like, hey, what's a fun fact about you? Like, I'd touch Jennifer Aniston's boob.
Yeah.
Like, in a movie.
That is definitely, like, your party trick.
Oh, yeah, that's your party trick. Exactly. 100%.
I mean, that beats all other party
Some
tricks.
people can juggle, breathe fire. I touch Jennifer Aniston's boob.
I'm sorry, hold on. Let's go back. Some people can juggle fire or...
Juggle or breathe fire.
I've never seen either at a party.
You're right. Unlikely to see at a party. I realize that now. Probably unlikely for a party trick.
Like, you know, some flip cup or beer pong special stuff.
You've never seen somebody juggling swords at a party? Like,
no.
You gotta live a little bit better.
Fire breather? No.
That doesn't happen.
What parties do you go to?
That's never happened. Let's feel. And welcome to the Rom-Com Rewind podcast.
Hi, I'm Sarah.
And I'm Devin.
And like you, I love rewatching movies over and over again.
You're here, you made it to us, you love romantic comedies, which is great news because we do as well.
So this is a show where we rewatch rom-coms, break them down a bit for you, maybe take a peek behind the curtain, dig beneath the surface, and decide, does it still hold up?
This time we have, it's not quite a rom-com, but it's definitely a com.
It's like a bromance, you know, they are joining together.
I love that. It's a brom-com.
It's a brom-com.
It's horrible
bosses.
I even pointed at you to tell you when it was coming. And wherever you're listening to this podcast, please throw us a follow, hit the subscribe button, whatever button you're supposed to hit. Leave reviews. They help more people find us. And as well, so much of this podcast continues on our Instagram account, at Romcom Rewind.
We have a message from Keaton. My top 3 rom-coms of all time are My Big Fat Greek Wedding, The American President, and The Princess Diaries 2. I would simply die if y'all did those. Love the podcast so much. It brings me so much joy. Thank y'all for all that you do.
Okay, Princess Diaries, we've done the original.
Yeah, but the second one is good as well.
Is it actually?
Yes, I think it is. I think like there's nostalgic with the first one, but I think like she has to find a husband now. Like, it's no longer like, you know, high school romance. It's like the real deal. She's got to run Genovia. She's got to find that prince.
Like on
King.
So the rom-coms of that era don't often have a good, like, Bring It On again. Legally Blonde 2. Give me a break. So, like, is it the one who wants
to put Legally Blonde 3 on their fantasy draft?
Okay, but this is like a reboot, though.
Oh my God.
We're reimagining, I would assume. After like,
you think?
I think it's going to be kind of like that.
Oh, see, I think it might. I don't know what it'll be.
When they were coming in quick succession back in that era, that was a bad time. But Princess Diaries 2 was good, we're saying?
Yeah, I recall enjoying it. Okay. Chris Pine's in it as the romance, as a romantic interest.
All right, well, you know what? Let's toss it up on the list.
Yeah.
Currently, though, we have our Bromcom Horrible Bosses. It's a 2011 dark comedy directed by Seth Gordon. This is the story of 3 friends, Nick, Dale, and Kurt, played by Jason Bateman, Charlie Day, and Jason Sudeikis. All 3 of these friends in some way have a boss that they despise. Nick's boss, Dave, is played by Kevin Spacey. He's a gaslighting, manipulating, corporate overlord kind of type. Kurt's boss, Bobby, played by Colin Farrell, is a weaselly, incompetent, drug-fueled jerk, is what I'm going to call him. Dale's boss, Julia, played by Jennifer Aniston, is just sexually aggressive towards him. And they all end up scheming and coming up with a plan to kill each other's bosses based on some advice from Jamie Foxx's character. Just going to call him Dean Jones. You know what? Because I don't want to add a ton of bleeps in this movie. I'll say it once. His name is Jones.
Yeah. I mean, you could just say MF Jones.
So we'll call him MF Jones from now on.
Yes.
But that's who that is. That's your lead-in for Horrible Bosses. What are your thoughts?
Did I tell you that Harkin tricked me into having a drink at 8 o'clock this morning?
Unless your boss isn't sexually harassing you.
See if this thing is working. Oh, I can make out our little friend right there.
Stop it.
Ooh, Shabbat Shalom. Somebody's circumcised.
You know, yours doesn't sound that bad.
We need to trim some of the fat. What do you mean by trim the fat?
I want you to fire the fat people.
You can start with Large Marge.
Marge, can you come in here, please?
What?
This movie is a total dark comedy. Like, I didn't realize that that's what it was genred as. Jennifer Aniston is the funniest in this movie. Jason Sudeikis Charlie Day and Jason Bateman are all hilarious on their own. But when you put them together, they do have chemistry. It is hilarious. I mean, two of them have a podcast, no?
Doesn't everybody have a podcast now?
I know. But I think the podcast is actually funny.
I know Charlie Day with his It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia castmates. They have a podcast together.
Oh, okay.
I think it's like the It's Always Sunny podcast or something like that.
Interesting.
Oh, yes. And Jason Bateman's on Shameless.
Yeah. The
Smartless.
I was going to say, Shameless is a TV show. He was not on that show.
Smartless. Smartless is only like the most popular podcast after like Joe Rogan. So, yes, they are on podcasts.
Yeah.
You're right.
I think it was a cool cast of characters together to play, a cool cast of actors to play these crazy characters. I think they did a really good job. I can't remember Horrible Bosses 2, but this one was funny enough for them to make a second one. It is definitely a bromance movie. I mean, there's really no aspect of rom in this. It is more definitely heavy on the com side. There are parts of this movie that make me and have made me belly laugh.
Oh, yes.
There's also cringe moments of like, oh my God, this should not happen. But
yes.
but it was well done, like in terms of the dark comedy aspect, for sure.
Yeah, I just thought like this one has such a fantastic script, great dialogue, and then like perfect execution on that. You kind of have a lot of different characters who play the extremes of different roles. Like Charlie Day is very amped up. He talks very fast. Jason Bateman is kind of like your poker face straight man who's got like, he throws some lines in there. Jason Sudeikis is a little bit zany, but then like Kevin Spacey, Colin Farrell.
Yeah.
Like sneaky, funny moments with all of these people. Even, we know Jennifer Aniston has great comedic timing, but you smash it all together and it's just, I think two things. I think if there was a lesser script, this film wouldn't be the same, but at the same time, you needed the cast to execute that script. It's a lot of great things coming together all at once in this movie.
I do love Jason Bateman. Like, I do. Do you think he plays a lot of the same character in his movies?
Yes.
Because I would say
he would admit that.
This mirrors a lot of like when he played in The Switch with Jennifer Aniston, but as well as Game Night with Rachel McAdams. Very similar characters where there's like a serious note to him, but
as
also,
well as Michael Bluth from Arrested Development. Like it's all kind of the same guy.
We have not talked about Arrested Development on this pod in a while.
We usually always reference it. But it's been
it's been a hot minute. It's been at least a year. Yes, I would agree. He does play a very similar character in a lot of his TV and movie career.
And he does kind of have a shtick. Like he does it very well in a very unique way that I think he's carved a place for himself. But yeah, you're right. He's always just like different versions of that guy. I actually heard a similar critique just because the movie just came out and I haven't watched it yet. Dune Part 2.
Yeah.
The big emperor guy. Is Christopher Walken, and everybody's like, the only person that we feel like might have been miscast is Christopher Walken because he's never not Christopher Walken.
Right.
Like, this is supposed to be an alien planet, and he's still like, I'm not going to do it. I was going to say,
are you going to do a Christopher Walken? Yeah. So, Christopher Walken, is that you?
Would that have been your reaction if I did?
For sure, definitely. But I thought that he didn't have. Did he have the same Christopher Walken kind of speech, I guess, in this movie, or did he not? I had thought that he had not.
I thought he had not too.
That's what I heard.
But I don't know how far he can get away from his own Christopher Walken-ness. I think he's so Christopher Walken that even if he tones it down to 30%, it's still nowhere near anybody else. It's still so Christopher Walken.
So anytime you hear Christopher Walken in this pod today, you get to drink because I'm pretty sure we said it 20 times in the first in the last 30 seconds.
Not even in the movie.
No, I know. I know. He could have been a good Harkin though.
He could have been a fantastic Harkin. Absolutely.
Played by Kevin Spacey in this movie. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like give me like Wedding Crashers Christopher Walken. That kind of like he's
Whoa.
Remember, he was like the patriarch of the family. He was some kind of political elite, but he was very sharp, a little bit aloof.
Totally forgot he was in it.
Let's dive in.
So we meet the first guy, Nick. His boss is a dick. I literally have that written down. And he gets him for being late by 2 minutes. Nick is up for a promotion, but he totally won't get it. And like, obviously that's foreshadowed in the first 30 seconds of the movie because of his boss.
Yeah.
Second guy, Dale, is a dental assistant, and his boss is a sexual harassment case waiting to happen every single day of Dale's life.
So as somebody who has a background in human resources, how do you feel about this? Oh, you know what? Let's.
I was going to say, this is a giant red flag waving from the top of a pole.
Let's get through all of the bosses, and then you can hit me with your. You can hit all of us with your. Scientific HR perspective
not scientific,
on it.
But and then we have finally Kurt. We have Kurt.
Yeah.
Who's an account manager at a factory, and his boss is Jack, best boss in the world. And then we also quickly meet Bobby, who is Jack's son, and we know something's going to happen to Jack. Sure enough, he gets into he has a heart attack behind the wheel. He passes away. But before that, a FedEx girl shows up, and Kurt signs off on it, and it is Meghan Markle.
It is Meghan Markle.
I had to do a double take. I was like, wait. Is that Meghan Markle?
So now I already have a few things for this episode. First of all, I have written down OMG, the delivery person is Meghan Markle. I think we need a category for our podcast, like the before we knew them role. Like, was she, it's 2011. I guess she's in Suits at this point. No, sorry. Suits came out in 2011 or started in 2011. So she hadn't done that yet. But yeah, that was our first glimpse at. Is she a princess now? I don't even know. They've been disavowed from the family.
I was going to say, I don't think they have royal titles anymore. Their kids have royal titles.
So would you put in this category like Robert Pattinson in the Harry Potter series? Like Cedric? If you're rewatching Harry Potter now, wouldn't you be like, Cedric is Batman now?
Oh, see, no. I would think Twilight Edward is Batman now.
Sure. No. I'm saying like
where he started. Yes, where he
role.
started. Yeah, Cedric for sure. I agree. And I think it's like kind of on par with that. I mean, obviously she's like a weird disjointed royal now, which I think like puts her higher than Robert Pattinson, but I think it's along the same lines.
Who has more clout right now? I'd say it's pretty close.
You think?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Paul Rudd as the brother in Clueless. I feel like if we went back now, we'd be like, whoa, Ant-Man was the weird brother and the weird brother love interest?
Yeah, the weird brother love interest. That was a weird storyline.
But like he was anyway.
Yes, that is weird. He has never aged.
He hasn't aged.
He is like...
He really hasn't.
He has cemented in stone. He has not aged.
And one that's more of a deep dive, more similar to the Meghan Markle thing, because she's literally just the delivery person.
Right.
Ryan Gosling in Young Hercules, the TV series back in the... If you don't know about this, please Google it. Go ahead. Take a moment. Maybe I'll toss a little... You know what? In the notes for the show here, just scroll down. I'll have a little link to like just images of Ryan Gosling as young frickin' Hercules, bro.
Oh my God. Okay, but that wasn't his start, correct? He was in the Mickey Mouse Club.
Yeah.
Yes, but that was like his official kind of breakout singularly, like by himself.
If you want to call it that, yeah.
Hercules. What year did that come out? Do you know?
1998, first episode aired. Yeah.
Okay, good for Ryan.
And it's like, it's funny because you're like, wow, that's a young Ryan Gosling, but then it's just like, it's 90s television.
Yes.
So it looks...
Oh my gosh.
Like it's very much on par with like Xena Warrior Princess vibes. That's what we're getting.
I think I shall be Googling that. But he was also in, and this is where I remember him from. I remember him from Remember the Titans.
Yeah, so this would have been before Remember the Titans.
Most definitely.
Also, shout out to Keanu Reeves, who here in Canada, he had like a weird CBC current affairs show where he would just like interview people. Yeah, super random.
Oh my gosh, Devin, I used to watch Young Hercules.
Did you watch Young Hercules?
I did. Because I just Googled it.
And you're like, oh, I recognize that. But I feel like all of those
Oh my
crappy
God.
shows from that era also looked like this, didn't they?
Yeah, but I definitely watched
Like,
it.
what was the Beast? Beast. Shoot, there was something about beasts. Beastmaster? Beast.
Ooh, that doesn't sound good.
What is it? Beast. Oh my God. Somebody knows, and you can't talk to me because it's a podcast, but there's a. Ugh.
So as Jack passes away, his son takes over Bobby. And then we also find out that Nick does not get the promotion. His boss takes it instead. Instead of giving it to somebody in the company, he has given it to himself, made his office twice as big. And Bobby, this new boss for Kurt back at the factory, wants to change everything and wants to fire everyone. Meanwhile, at the dentist office, Jennifer Aniston, Dr. Julia, is honestly the funniest in this movie. Dale gets locked in his boss's office and she comes in naked.
Like, yeah. Jennifer Aniston throwing fastballs is what I'll say.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. They're trying to make it happen.
Can I talk about the first scene where we meet her, where she grabs a patient's hand and puts it on her breast?
Yes.
I just think about, like, if you're that extra, like a lot of times extras don't know everything that's going on. It's just like you're going to be in a dentist's office and they're like, cool. Imagine walking into work and then being like, okay, your whole thing, you're passed out. Jennifer Aniston's going to put her hand on your hand on her.
You can't react. Don't get up. Don't. Wow. Don't ogle.
Like that guy. I'm going to mention that at every party. If I'm meeting people like, hey, what's a fun fact about you? Like, I'd touch Jennifer Aniston's boob.
Yeah.
Like in a movie.
That is definitely like your party trick.
Oh, yeah, that's your party trick. Exactly. 100%.
I mean, that beats all other party
Some
tricks.
people can juggle, breathe fire. I touched Jennifer Aniston's boob.
I'm sorry. Hold on. Let's go back. Some people can juggle fire or...
juggle or breathe fire.
I've never seen either at a party.
You're right. Unlikely to see at a party. I realize that now. Probably unlikely for a party trick.
Like, some flip cup or beer pong special
You've
stuff.
never seen somebody juggling swords at a party? Like,
no.
You got to live a little bit better.
Fire breather? No.
That doesn't happen.
What parties do you go to?
That's never happened. Let's be honest. I don't know why I said that.
So after work, all three guys, they go to a bar and they run into a friend after contemplating quitting their jobs and finding new ones. This friend of theirs says he's broke for the last 2 years, offers them sexual favors, and instead of that, three guys decide that they're going to come up with how to murder their bosses instead of quitting their jobs and becoming broke.
We have the premise of the movie. They're all going to murder their bosses.
Yes. So we do meet. So Dale works for Dr. Julia, Dale's fiance, Stacy, and comes in to get her tooth fixed because Julia invites her into the office. While his fiance is under, Julia tries to sleep with Dale on top of said fiance, but Dale says that he quits. And so Dr. Julia blackmails him with photos that she had taken his very first week of work. So he is now fully on board with ex-naying Julia. Dale runs into his friend's place with the two other guys are there and says, like, he's in, let's off their bosses. They're going to hire a hitman to do it. They meet at a motel and they've hired a hitman from online Craigslist. Turns out he does wet work.
Wouldn't want to leave a stake now, would we?
Oh my God, I knew it.
Who's first?
No, who's first?
No, you.
No,
we don't want you to kill us.
Yeah, we want you to kill another person. If anyone's first, probably him. Oh God, listen,
Gentlemen, what are you talking about?
Your ad said you do wet work.
That's correct. I urinate on other men for money.
What was that? What did he say?
I think he said he pisses on dudes.
Why else do you think my ad was in the men seeking men section?
He urinates on men for money. That's what wet work is. Just in case you didn't know. $200. Of course, they think to off their bosses. They decide to head to the bad part of town to a bar to find a hitman. Jamie Foxx, who plays MF Jones, comes out as they're leaving and says he can do it. His name is, again, MF Jones. His true name is Dean Jones.
I mean, so in terms of best scenes for this movie, there's one scene that just kills me, but
yes,
every scene with MF Jones is on the list. It at least got pretty close. I found, yes, all of the comedic timing between all four of them, like including Jamie Foxx, fantastic. In the two scenes that he's in, really, they're so good.
He did a really, really good job. So he says he's going to do it for $30,000, and then they whittle him down to $5,000 because that's all they have, which, I mean, hiring a hitman in the first place for $5,000, major red flags.
Yeah.
They bring him the money, and he says he will be their murder consultant. He tells them that they should be the ones to do it, not him. He's just going to consult on how they should do it, and that they would be the ones actually going through with the plan.
Which they're upset about, but then he comes up with the idea of, why don't you guys all murder each other's bosses?
Right.
That, because everybody has motive here, so just don't
you guys do it.
But each of you do the different boss kind of thing.
So they break into Kurt's boss's house, which is Bobby, and Dale finds so much, I'm just going to say, white stuff.
This was also close to my best scene.
Okay, and he drops it, and it goes up in a pile of like poof, and they become so high. This is part of my best scene. The rest of this best scene is when Dale is sitting in the car, flipping back and forth the seat, singing "That's Not My Name." That's not my name.
So funny.
I cackle.
What is Charlie Day's spirit animal? I find there's nobody quite like Charlie Day.
I don't know why I think of a possum.
Yeah, like I'm getting like an otter or like a sea otter vibe is what I get from him. Does that make sense?
But it should be something more hyper, I feel.
Are sea otters not hyper enough for you?
Well, I don't know.
You know what I mean? Like I don't know how to describe him, but I don't know anybody like him either. If that makes sense. He's very unique.
I don't know why I think of a possum, but like I think it might be because he's like compact. Like he's a tiny human.
Yeah, he's a small human.
But like I just can't, like I cackle every time I watch this scene. I will add, Kurt does use the Harkins what do you call them? Bathroom utensils as butt floss.
Yeah.
So there's also that.
Which is like rule number 1, don't get your DNA everywhere. They literally got high off his stuff and and then put his butt DNA in the bathroom. Like, come on.
They try to vacuum up the white stuff. That was hilarious. Like, empty the handheld vacuum before you do that, because that was just...
I feel like everything's gonna work out, because I'm like a machine, Look how fast I'm picking out the scrap, I'm moving like super fast. I can't even feel my nose.
Can I get in here? Do you want to know what's weird? Is that I feel like I should be panicking right now, and I am a little bit, but it's in a very, very good way.
Yeah, but you're not,
it's like a good kind of panic. It's like I feel like I want to die right now, but I also feel very, very, very good.
Yeah. Hey! What are you guys doing?
Nothing. But, before we go, I just want to take one more quick dump.
Take a quick dump, and I'm gonna do push-ups, because I gotta get fit.
What the hell have you guys done?
I'm feeling good, dude.
That was just chaotic.
This
chaotic
scene
mess.
was so funny. I also felt like it was a... Like some movies, I don't want to come off the wrong way here, but just like some movies that depict mind-altering substances go like a 20 out of 10. Like they make it...
Right.
This felt like a very authentic, like, right. Yeah, they're acting like they did that stuff. Like that feels like exactly how somebody in that situation.
It's just the Not My Name song.
Oh my God, so funny.
I can't, honestly. Oh my God. So after they leave Bobby's house, they head to Dave Harkins' house. And Dale is way too high to go into the house. So he stays as their lookout. Which, like, I would not do that. With 2 long honks is going to be his warning to them.
So funny.
Now, Harkin comes up the driveway jogging, and Dale throws a wrapper out of his window because he was eating. And Harkin picks it up and is having choice words with him when he starts having an anaphylactic reaction to peanuts because Dale was eating something with peanuts. He gives Harkin the EpiPen 10 times. That is pure adrenaline. Yeah. Yep. And Kurt and Nick see him out of the window and leave. but not before accidentally dropping Bobby's phone that they had stolen from Bobby's house prior to getting Harkins.
So my best scene was actually while they're casing out the house, because there's a cat that keeps on jumping in front of Jason Sudeikis, and I don't know why, but it really speaks to like how well this film is written. It's the stupidest joke. But just the cat constantly like, it just really cracked me up. I don't know. Like, it really got me.
There were just like little bits that they kind of did full circle. They could have just done it once and it would have been funny. But the fact that they continued it throughout.
Is this a cat factory? Like, what? Is that the same cat? It's just like it's really random.
Yeah. And like for Harkin to be able to care for something, it's very interesting. You know?
Is that what you got?
Like, that's what I got. I was
like,
like,
he owns an
oh,
animal.
like
Clearly, it's his wife's cat.
Clearly. So Dale gets to the other two, the two guys that they're walking around the block, and finds them walking, and he's pumped because he saved somebody's life. But Kurt and Nick are pissed because he could have let him die, and that would have solved their problem.
Well, first they thought he was actually murdering Harkin.
Yes.
And that's why they were like, oh God, it's over. And then when he's like, no, I saved that guy's life, they're like, well, what the?
Yes, yeah.
We could have been done with this.
Yeah. Kurt and Nick decide that this is good news, though, because Bobby is an addict and Harkin is allergic to peanuts. So they've actually gained intel on their situation and have left knowing how they're going to do the deed. Kurt is going to do recon on Dr. Julia, and Nick is going to off Bobby, and Dale is going to give peanuts to Harkin.
So we've established, like, throughout all of these moments, we're still getting moments of these people back at work where Harkin is still getting after everybody and being just a horrible boss, and Bobby's doing the same. And I have for you, on the topic of the movie Horrible Bosses, worst boss stories.
Oh, I love this.
As told by people on Reddit. So these are all Reddit stories of people who despise their bosses. And some of them have some similarities to our movie here. This person says the J.A., the jackass, who started selling Amway from his office. It's like
oh my God.
This person says he was pressuring all of his staff to buy stuff and implying that people buying from him and or joining him on the pyramid would benefit from it. Like he was giving people raises and extra vacation.
No.
Yes. He also tried to get the company to start purchasing through his side business. He was reported, and when HR asked him, hey, are you actually like selling this stuff? He said, yeah, do you want to buy in? So they fired him.
Oh my God.
This next person says, I once had a boss that was a psychopath. Apparently she recreated. Okay. I've actually done not this, but something similar.
Great.
Apparently she recreated the workplace and employees in the Sims game.
Oh, geez.
And enjoyed lighting the staff on fire.
No. Wait, you've done this?
I haven't done that.
Okay, I was gonna say.
if back when I used to play The Sims, like, I don't know, like 15 years ago, I used to like put my friends in the game and just like they would be off living their life.
Right, okay.
I wouldn't like kill my coworkers.
Because like I was gonna say, it takes a very dark turn when you say it like that. But yes, I understand you did not do that. That's good. That's good.
I did. Nobody died.
Good.
She was killing her employees on The Sims.
Yes.
Didn't you play The Sims?
I loved The Sims.
You never created a real person from your life.
Did not. I don't think so. No, I'm trying to think.
Okay.
But if I did, it wasn't like I was putting them in the pool and letting them, like.
Classic move. You put them in the pool.
Wow.
Well, no, everybody.
And then you take away the ladder?
Yes.
Oh my God.
See, you're acting like you don't know it, but you knew it. Okay.
Well, it wasn't anybody I knew.
Oh, God. You just kill the random Sim. That's cool. Yeah, that's fine. Apparently there's a Sims movie coming out. Are you aware of that?
Yes. Margot Robbie is signed on, no? Or is in talks to do it.
That's right. This person says, when I worked in the publishing industry right after college, I assisted the owner of several magazines and newspapers. By that time, print was well on its way to being a dead medium, and it was driving the owner insane. He became convinced that people in the community were stalking him and his family. He even hired a private investigator to tail a guy that he thought had it out for him. The investigator put some sort of tracking device on the suspected stalker's car. One day, the owner comes screeching into the office, though, grabs me by the arm and starts yelling, "He's a mile away. You have to get out of here." So I grab my purse and follow him up to his office where I see he has a handgun laying on his desk. So I leave. Fun fact, nobody was stalking him. He actually contacted like SWAT, I guess, to give them findings from his PI. And they promptly just closed the investigation because there was nothing there.
Wow. So we do also find out that Harkin believes that his wife cheats on him all the time. And I think this is part of his bitterness to his character. Harkin shows up to Bobby's house because he finds Bobby's cell phone under Harkin's couch, thinking his wife is again cheating on him. He goes up to the door, gives him the phone, and then shoots him twice. So that solves the problem there for at least two of them.
There goes Bobby, but the problem is Nick was staking out Bobby's place.
Correct.
So he's witnessed fleeing from the scene.
He is. And so they all get to the bar. They all say they can't go through with it. They decide that they can't do it. Also, Kurt slept with Dr. Julia, which is a major problem.
Hilarious. The scene of him describing it being like, she was like eating bananas. Like, how could you not? She knew I was out there, man.
They decide in that scene was really funny.
Good.
They decide an anonymous tip via a payphone should work for the murder. But before they can do that, the police corner them. They're brought in for questioning, but Dale talks them out of having to stay via a Law and Order situation, which is hilarious because I used to watch Law and Order all the time.
Do you think any of your Law and Order knowledge will ever help you in like a situation with police or the law?
I would like to say yes, but
I'm going to say
no
of it?
Because none of my knowledge about Grey's Anatomy has helped me in real life. So that should answer your question.
How many seasons you watch Grey's Anatomy?
I'm on 19.
All a waste.
There's 20.
It's how about Private Practice? You watch any of that?
I didn't watch Private Practice. No, 3 seasons I think.
Hey.
No, but I love me some Chicago PD, Fire, and Med.
Oh, in case you ever get into
Fire, PD, or Med.
Okay, I literally just thought of this the other day.
Okay.
Things that were ingrained in your mind when you were a child that as an adult you realize, like, I never needed this skill. The amount of times we were told, if you catch on fire, stop, drop, and roll.
Right.
How often did they think we were going to catch on fire? Like, I felt like I thought catching fire was very common. Like, that happens to people.
Yeah.
And now that I'm an adult, I'm like, you have to be very negligent to catch on fire.
Yeah, but you never know. It was to help you as a child if there was a house fire.
Okay. Then tell me to there are other things that I need to know about in the case of a house fire,
like what?
Smoke rises, get low on the ground, stuff
you were
like
taught
that.
That's why you stop, drop, and roll because you were underneath the smoke line.
Rolling, I feel like, is going to use up a lot of oxygen. I thought that was only for fire.
What are you huffing and puffing when you're rolling?
It takes up some energy. Listen, you listen to the pod, you've never caught on fire and you don't know why they ingrained that in your mind. That feels ridiculous.
I think that was a really good lesson. And Stranger Danger.
Number
Those are 2.
Well, okay.
Oh, you have more.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, great.
Quicksand.
No, you know what? We had quicksand near my house.
Shut up. Nobody has quicksand.
It was a sand pit.
Stop.
Yes. And if
quicksand's not even real.
Okay, but it becomes quicksand. Like if you, yes. So we were always told we couldn't go in the sand pit because we could die.
Are you sure your parents weren't just lying to you because they didn't want you to play in the sand pit?
Probably a bit of both. But they were really worried that we would get devoured by quicksand.
That feels like a classic parent lie.
It was probably a mix of both.
Anyway, that's my rant about stopping and dropping and rolling.
Well,
not that it's bad knowledge, but
look
just
at
like
this.
we really talked
You're how
about
old and you remember it like it was yesterday.
And I've never used it.
But that's a good thing, though. What a great thing to never have to use, but you know it really well. You're welcome.
Thank you. Stop, drop, and roll, people.
Thank you, firefighters.
Thanks.
Fire people. So they get to the bar, they find MF Jones, and we find out that he did time not for offing anybody, but for pirating a video, like a movie. That's what he did time for. He didn't actually do anything of great terribleness. And he just took the money from the three guys because they offered him payment. That's what we find out, which is hilarious. So they decide to get Harkin on wire or tape confessing to the murder. But as they walk into the house, everyone yells, "Surprise!" It's a surprise birthday that his wife is throwing for Harkin. The three guys, or should I say two in this moment, confront Harkin, but he doesn't care. He admits to it fully. But when they go to leave, Kurt isn't even there, who was the person who was supposed to be recording the whole time and get the actual evidence, as he is instead sleeping with Harkin's wife, Rhonda. And so they have nothing now. Kurt ruined everything, because he can't keep it in his pants. There's a car chase, got to have one of those, where Harkin is after the three guys. Well, Dale is dirty talking Julia to get her off of his back. Kurt calls his online navigation system for help, and his name is not Gregory, but they name him Gregory. Gregory finds out that they committed a crime, so he calls the cops, shuts down the car. So now they're stuck. Harkin now catches up to them and hits them. They're literally going to die very soon, getting them all out of the car and tries to set them up. But instead, Kurt has been recording the whole time. But of course, Kurt doesn't get the actual proper recording of what they needed to. They just got Dale dirty talking to Dr. Julia. And however, the nav guy, Gregory, in the car was recording the call the whole time and has everything on tape with Harkin actually committing to the crime. Fast forward, Harkin is gone. Nick is now president of the company. Kurt is still working for the factory, but he's totally fine with it because Bobby's not there anymore. And Dale caught Julia on camera doing harassment things to clients. So she is under control. And he blackmails her into paying for a honeymoon for him and Stacy, and then tells her that he's going to have a harassment-free workplace.
And look at that. We're tied up with a beautiful little bow and ribbon. That is our movie of horrible bosses. We're on to quick facts.
Colin Farrell was heavily involved in the look of his character. The comb-over and prosthetic stomach were his idea. He also decided his character would have an obsession with dragons, and he took part in developing the design for Bobby's apartment.
Okay, is it awkward that I thought he just gained weight for the role?
Oh my God.
Because sometimes Christian Bale gain 50 pounds for a thing.
True, yes. The method acting for sure.
I guess I thought
losing weight for sure, but maybe not this role for Colin.
Too highly of the method acting needed for horrible bosses.
Maybe. I mean, I could kind of tell it was prosthetic.
Oh, man.
To promote this film, Warner Brothers Pictures Canada set up a 12-foot voodoo doll resembling a corporate boss in downtown Montreal. People were given the chance to vent their office frustrations on the doll by stabbing and hitting it with large needles. They were also encouraged to share their best or worst boss stories for the chance of winning passes to an advance screening of the film. That got taken to a whole other level.
Yeah, that went hardcore.
Jennifer Aniston wore a brown wig to make her character a brunette and more oversexed, a departure from her regular, unusual lighter tones. While director Seth Gordon encouraged most actors to improvise their lines in various scenes, Jennifer Aniston stated she didn't need to do that because her lines were beautifully choreographed. When looking for a dangerous bar, Gregory claims there's an Applebee's 3 blocks away. Jason Sudeikis says those aren't the shitheads we need. Sudeikis would later become the spokesman for Applebee's.
No.
In real life, Bobby's cocaine was made of powdered lactose. To stay in character, Colin would snort it between scenes.
Okay, what is happening with Colin Farrell in this movie?
It's like an attempt to be method. I don't know.
Because he came up with so much of the backstory for his character. He's
I kind of love it.
Running lines of lactose. Like, what is going
Dried
on?
lactose, powdered, gross. Kevin Spacey is credited with discovering Colin Farrell and launching his career. He gave Colin Farrell his first American role after seeing him perform in a play. Jason Sudeikis and Jennifer Aniston also starred together as fake husband and wife in the movie from 2013, We're the Millers. Vince Vaughn, Owen Wilson, Matthew McConaughey, Dax Shepard, Ashton Kutcher, Paul Rudd, Philip Seymour Hoffman, Jeff Bridges, and Tom Cruise were all rumored for roles at some point. Kutcher was attached to play the role of Dale Arbus, while Tom Cruise, Hoffman, and Bridges were approached by New Line Cinema for the role of Dave Harkin, and McConaughey was considered for the role of Dean M.F. Jones.
Oh,
that would have been like, I feel like his part that he played when he played it in the movie Mud. Like, I feel like it would have to be like a southern drawl.
I thought more fool's gold, like a little bit like he's
maybe
got
hyper. Like, he was hyper.
Yeah, but like definitely a sketchy individual.
Yeah.
But like charming. Yeah, Matthew McConaughey could do it.
I think Jamie was a good pick.
Well,
like I do.
And that's the thing. I see it's one of those things where the character needs to change a lot, but I could see how they would both do it in different ways. I think Jamie nailed it, obviously.
I agree completely. Yeah.
But Matthew McConaughey could do a version of that character, if that makes sense.
Yes. Naomi Watts and Sarah Jessica Parker were considered to play Dr. Julia Harris, so the dentist, which I could see, but I'm really happy it went to Jennifer.
Jennifer was so perfect.
Kevin Spacey basically plays a copy of his character Buddy Ackerman from Swimming with Sharks from 1994. The cast includes 2 Oscar winners, Jamie Foxx and Kevin Spacey, and 1 Oscar nominee, Colin Farrell. This movie reunites Jennifer Aniston and Jason Bateman for the first time since they did the movie in 2010, The Switch, which is another rom-com. In the original script, Nick's last name was Waters, Dale's last name was Stevens, and Kurt's last name was Gamble. Kurt is the only one of the 3 main characters to come in contact with the 3 targeted bosses. So let me explain. Kurt works for Bobby, sleeps with Dr. Julia Harris, and is held at gunpoint with Nick and Dale by Dave Harkin. Nick works for Harkin. He never interacts with Bobby, and he does witness Harkin murdering Bobby, but is never seen with Julia at all. Dale works for Julia, is held at gunpoint by Harkin, but never interacts with Bobby. So the only one to do so is Kurt. Additionally, Harkin gets angry with him for littering. This is Dale. And later, Dale saves Harkin's life without knowing, of course, that it is him, the big bad boss, when he almost dies because of his peanut allergy. When Dale unexpectedly helps the guys talk their way out of being held at the police station, he cites the popular TV show Law and Order as his inspiration for learning how the justice system works. Charlie Day, who plays Dale, appeared in Swept Away, a very special edition in 2001.
Of Law and Order. Wow.
The plot is somewhat similar to the 2004 Bollywood adult comedy film Masti, but has a unique storyline about bosses instead of housewives.
Honorable mentions. So, like, I kind of want to honorably mention Donald Sutherland here just because I want to talk about fastest main character deaths in a movie.
Yeah.
Donald Sutherland. When he died, I stopped it. We were just 10 minutes into this film.
Okay.
I'm going to talk about some tough movie deaths here.
Oh.
Like, well, some of them are fun. Some of them
are fun. Like, we're talking Bambi?
Like Vanisher in Deadpool 2, right? It's technically Brad Pitt. We never actually see him.
Oh my God.
But it's like literally...
Yes,
like
I forgot
maybe
about him.
Like 50 frames of video is Brad Pitt hitting a power line in Deadpool 2.
Right, yes.
Hilarious.
I forgot about that. That's really funny.
Drew Barrymore in Scream dies in the first scene of that movie, which was big because she was on the cover of the poster and it was very much...
everybody thought she was going to make it.
But then, and the comedian in Watchmen back in 2009.
Okay.
He dies in the first scene as well. Played by, can't remember his name. Great guy though. He's in a he's in a few movies that we like.
Okay, what about J-Lo?
In Jersey Girl.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Very
she dies
fast.
very quick. A little bit too quick. Like quicker than it was supposed to be from what we understand from the behind the scenes there.
Yeah.
But then I've got like Ellie in Up.
Oh.
Yeah, the opening sequence to Up is so...
Oh, heartbreaking. I cried every single time.
I cry every time.
Oh my God.
It's beautiful, but it's so sad.
They just do things with my emotions, you know?
Oh.
Thank you, Pixar.
Littlefoot's mother in Land Before Time.
Oh my God, I can't. I can't with Littlefoot.
I know.
Oh my goodness.
I know. Yeah. And sure,
I bawled my eyes out.
that was tough.
We got Bambi's mom, bawled my eyes out.
Bambi's mom. You know, it really occurs to me, like, what are we doing to kids?
Oh, Disney. I refuse. Like I've said on the pod before, I refuse to watch Fox and the Hound. Like, I cannot watch that movie. That movie is terrifying to me.
Wells's first 2 Disney movies have been Moana and Encanto because we know...
Loved them.
We know it never gets heavy ever, really.
My God.
Which is nice.
Just so sad, some of those movies. Like Mufasa.
The Lion King.
Oh, my God. Oh,
I don't know when... Especially as a father to a son, like Mufasa dying, I don't want him to see that.
I just can't handle it.
Yeah. Anyway, that's my honorable mention is Donald Sutherland dying.
I mean, I think Jennifer Aniston did such a good job with this character.
Oh, she was so good.
And it's definitely like out of the realm of her, I think, normal movies. I mean, she played a similar character in We're the Millers, but that was after this movie and with actually Jason Sudeikis. But I think things like Bounty Hunter, like, you know, that was like a subpar movie for her. This was like hilarious, even though it wasn't a rom-com, but like she was really funny in it. And I liked the character change up for her.
What should have beens?
Didn't everybody get a kind of happy ending?
Yeah, everybody got a kind of happy ending. I guess the only real what should have been, and it's tough because we're not reviewing this movie, but should it have had a sequel? We talked off the top of the pod of the crappy sequel to the really great movie. Horrible Bosses 1 had a audience score of 70% on Rotten Tomatoes, a critic score of 69%.
Okay.
Horrible Bosses 2, 47% audience score,
Right.
35% critic score.
Yeah.
And like, that's like, I've never watched Horrible Bosses 2, probably because of this. Like, it just feels like it was probably a crappy sequel. And overall rewatchability, I've got chemistry. It's a perfect 5 out of 5. How every single actor interacted with every other actor, the execution on the dialogue, it was perfect. Storyline, I also thought was perfect. A 5 out of 5. Thirst factor, 4.39 out of 5. It's mostly Jennifer Aniston dragging that score up. Imagination of 4.45 out of 5. I can't really picture any movies quite like this that I'm aware of. Soundtrack is where we come down a little bit. I don't think there's anything specific from the soundtrack that speaks to me. 3 out of 5 for soundtrack. Cheese, 4.7 out of 5 though. Like, it's tough when you have that many jokes packed into a movie, but I felt like they were never the bad kind of cheese. It was always really fun and fresh. That's an overall score of 4.43 out of 5 for Dev.
Okay, my score is chemistry 4.8, storyline 4.7, thirst factor 3.5, because it's like a mixed bag I found. Imagination 4.7, soundtrack 2, because I agree with you. Cheese 3.7 for an overall score of 3.9 out of 5.
That's been your rom-com rewind of Horrible Bosses. If you want to reach out about anything on the pod, please throw us a DM at Romcom Rewind on Instagram.
Thanks for listening.